The caterpillar exercise is, I think, the best exercise you can do on the guitar to improve your technique overall. It's a simple exercise. It's it's not that exciting, but it's great. This is what it looks like. Etc. Not going to do the whole thing. We're just going to start with a fragment of it. As we do this, what's really important is that we focus on our hand position. What are we doing with our hands? How are our movements looking? This is by far more important than us simply going up the strings. When we're starting out on the guitar, a lot of our practice actually needs to be training our mind to think and see things correctly. That way, we will prevent ourselves from developing bad habits. Remember, we talked about muscle memory earlier. Your muscle memory only repeats what you feed it. So if we aren't able to pick up on bad habits and make sure we are trying to correct them and move in the right direction, then the muscle memory is going to think that that's what we're supposed to be doing. And that's how we develop bad habits. Fixing them later on is a pain. So we want to start out correctly right from the beginning. To begin with, we're just going to try this caterpillar exercise on one string. What we're going to do is go up and down on one string. We can do it on different strings. We don't have to practice on the same one every time, but we're just going to stick to one string. So let's talk about some of the things that we need to think about in terms of our right hand and left hand to get the most out of this exercise. To begin with, we're going to want to have one finger per fret. We want to have our index finger and our pinky finger both angled inwards, and we want our thumb to be halfway down the neck behind our middle finger. We also want to keep our palm horizontal as we're playing this. We don't want it to be on an angle, and we want to keep these knuckles forward. Now, you're probably going to feel that in here. Most people aren't used to getting this thumb over like that. There's not really anything else we do in life that requires that movement. However, this is one of the most important movements for developing good left-hand technique on the guitar. Pretty much every issue students have with their left hand when they're starting out is due to them not being able to bring this thumb and hold it there like that. It feels uncomfortable because we haven't conditioned and trained that muscle yet to hold that position. Try this. Hold your hand out. Without moving these fingers, try and touch the tip of your thumb to the tip of your pinky finger. You can't do it unless you move this finger, which we don't want to do. You can't do it, but you'll feel it engaging that muscle in there. That's the feeling that we want when we're doing this exercise. As we build strength in this muscle, it's not going to get sore and tired every time we play it. But what we don't want to do is have our thumb over here because it doesn't feel uncomfortable. A lot of people have their hand on this angle because they're afraid of that feeling of discomfort in this muscle here. But just like any exercise, the muscle is going to be a little bit fatigued if it's not used to being used. So that discomfort that you might be feeling in this muscle here as you're playing this exercise is not a bad thing. Don't worry about it. As long as you are keeping in mind the technique of the exercise and continuing to move towards that technique, then you can rest easy knowing that you're going to get it. So what we want to do is go first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, one finger in each of the frets. Think about transferring the pressure. It's not like 1, 2, 3. You're not plonking the fingers down. Transfer the pressure from one finger to the next. Try to keep it as smooth as possible. With the right hand, we want to be alternate picking, going down, up, down, up. And with our left hand, we want to be holding that position. Index and pinky angled inwards, thumb halfway down, keeping this palm horizontal. And we're just going to practice going up and down on the single strings while keeping in mind all of those things that we talked about in terms of technique with this exercise. could try that on all of the strings. Hey guys, thanks for checking out the lesson. This one is part of a series of lessons that I produced while working on the content for our new beginner guitar course. If you're starting out on guitar, head along to guitarnutrition.com and check that out. And if you want a free Zoom lesson, go over to the website guitarnutrition.com and sign up for the newsletter.